learn a lot about getting in shape for women through a franchisee, and then give you the opportunity the next, the last 15 minutes or so to ask as many questions you like. So let's start off. So this is how we're going to focus our webinar today. The first part of the webinar, we are going to talk about the Get in Shape for Women Vision Framework. We'll follow it up with the interview with the multi-unit owner, Maria Spivakowski. And then afterwards, I will hang up the phone, and you'll have the opportunity to just chat in questions for Maria, and she'll be able to answer all those questions for you. So first thing we're going to do today, guys, we're going to start off with our positive focus. Now, positive focus is something that we do before all of our meetings. It's a really important way of starting every one of our meetings. This all came about from some off-site consulting we did a couple years back. And the real idea behind positive focus is that negativity and positivity and creativity all can't live in the same mindset. So positivity and creativity can, negativity kills everything. So we need a positive mindset to go into these, to any kind of meeting and to any kind of call. And what way that does is it really opens up our minds. It allows us to let creativity come in, and it also keeps the tone of the meeting very positive. So I really suggest all of you guys do the same thing. You can send in your positive focuses to us, or you could just do it in your own, around with anybody who you're listening to, or just in your own head. I'll start today. I'll do a professional and a personal positive focus. Professionally, we had a really fun 2014. There's always ups and downs of every year, and I think that just goes with every year. But we had a great 2014, and more importantly, we've just set ourselves up for a really fun and exciting 2015. So I really look forward to seeing that. As for my personal positive focus, I have a 10-month-old, actually soon to be 10-month-old, who is having his Christmas at daycare this evening or afternoon, evening. So I will be attending that, and I'm really excited to see that because it's going to be hilarious. I think they're doing a thing like a skit for the parents, and it's going to be awesome. So I'm really, really excited for that. So that's my personal positive focus. So Maria, go ahead. What is your positive focus?
Well, I like to start with professional. Professional, I have to say, and this is being really honest, is that I am in a business that I truly love. I have an amazing team and amazing clients, and we're rocking it every day. So I don't know what more I can say about that. Personal, well, I just found out that I'm going to be a grandmother. Yes, absolutely. So if you guys could see me, you'd be like, what? She does not look like a grandmother. But I'm going to be a grandmother, so I'm really excited about that and really looking forward to 2015.
That's great news. Congratulations, Maria.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, excellent. So, guys, we'll go on to the vision framework, and then we'll get back to Maria. We'll let her glow in her next step soon. So, vision. So our vision is something we were put together at this offsite consulting. In the vision, our vision is made up of our purpose, our core values, and our current mission. Our purpose. We were, an exercise that we were given at this off-site consulting was write down and put in stone what is your purpose. And everybody has a purpose. Doesn't matter what you're doing. Doesn't matter if it's personally your focus, your purpose, or what it is. Every person has a purpose. But putting it down and writing it in stone and then giving it that, that power is really important. Our purpose is 6 simple words: to empower women through body transformation. That is everything we do. Everything in our corporate office, in our studios, every decision that we make, we look back and say, all right, well, is this decision going to help to empower women through body transformation? Are we going to change the workout? All right, will that help to empower women through body transformation? Are we going to open new stores? Are we going to, add on a new exercise. Everything that we do always goes back to that purpose, and that is really important to us, that everything we focus on is we're making sure that we're empowering women through body transformation. The next part of that is our core values. Now, this is an exercise that was also given to us, and we've gone through these core values so many times in the corporate office and with the executive team. And I remember recently I was talking to Lou about our president and COO about these core values. I'm like, so yeah, you and Brian put these together. Well, how long did it take you? A couple hours, a day or so? He's like, no, about 4 to 6 months. So these are something that they took very seriously and spent a lot of time and a lot of effort making sure that what this was is exactly the mirror that we want to hold up to ourselves and make sure that we're following these core values and make sure that people that we bring on board as franchisees, as managers, as trainers are also as dedicated to these core values as we are. Number one, all started back on our CEO and founder, Brian Cook, put this number one because he went back to his days of running a personal training studio. And this is so important to him that, he had a personal training studio by himself, 150 clients. He invited all of them to his wedding. And he always said, if you're not willing to invite your clients to your wedding, are you treating them like family? Are you really, really doing everything you can to treat these people like family? Now, that's an extreme case, of course, but it's a great, example of what it means to treat your customers like family. You're gonna, they're not just clients who come in and work out. These are women who you're helping to transform. You're changing their lives, and you have to love them like family. You have to have the hard conversations like you will with family. You have to get them through those tough times like you will with any member of your family. Also, if you're a trainer or you're a manager, you have to really want to go in there, or even an owner, you want to go in there and be close to these women and learn about these women and learn what makes them tick so you can help them to transform. We have a passion for health and fitness. I mean, that really goes without saying. I don't think we would be in this business if we didn't have a passion for health and fitness. But it's really something that's it's very important, and we know that the trickle-down effects that the health and fitness, especially to the woman who's the head of the household, can have across an entire household. We believe in the power of positivity. We start every one of our meetings off with a positive focus. We can't have negative people, in our lives. We won't allow negativity around us, because we know, like I said, once you allow that negativity in, you're going to close out all that creativity. You're going to close down. You're going to, that negativity is going to creep in. You're not going to want to follow the model. You're not going to want to follow. You're not going to want to do the workout. Because you don't. All of a sudden, you're not seeing this. You're not seeing that. So we really want to exude positivity all the time, because with positivity, we're going to see transformation. We wow our customers by exceeding expectations. I think some people have, I've heard some people say, under promise and over deliver is a great way of putting that. And by wowing your customers by exceeding expectations, that's really important, because that's how you keep your customers. You can't go into a client and tell them, work with them, figure out that they have 50 pounds that are imperative for them to lose, and then 4 months down the road, they're only 2 pounds down. And then they're going to start going, well, why am I even in this program? What am I doing? Is this even working? Why would I spend my hard-earned money to be here? We really want to make sure that we're setting up the goals for these women and then blowing them out of the water. And on the franchise side, the franchisor side, we do the same things for you guys as coming in as franchisees. We don't want you to come in and, purchase a studio and go, oh man, this is going to be the greatest, opportunity for me, and us telling you we're going to support you all the way, and then us just pulling up our anchors, leaving you behind, and just having you sail out there by yourself. It's just not what we're going to do. So we want to make sure that we're exceeding everything that we tell you. We want to make your promises and meet them well beyond your expectations. We check our egos at the door. Now, this is a tough one because there's a lot of successful people, both as trainers and managers, but also as owners. And we have to realize that once we let our ego come in, we stop learning. And because when we have ego, it means that we know everything. It means that we no longer are open to learning anything else. And that is just a bad way of moving forward. And it goes right into our number 6 of we're continually learning. If you have ego, you can't be continually learning, and we are continually learning. We devour books here. We are constantly trying to keep up on what's the newest trend and how are we going to make the franchise better. We implement all the things that we're learning into the franchise when we know that it will be a better situation and make the franchisee and the franchise in general stronger. We have a book club that we do. We constantly are reviewing information to make sure that everything that we're putting out is the best possible way. We believe in honest, open communication, and this is something that has to be out there. You can't have things clouding the air. You have to get them out there. You have to just talk about them, because if you don't get them out there and you don't talk about them, then you can never have that great conversation. You can never move forward. So we will talk open and honestly with our clients. We'll talk openly and honestly with our franchisees, and we want our franchisees and our clients to come back to us and speak open and honestly with us, because then we know that we're all moving towards the same goal. We believe accountability leads to success. It's part of our 4 components. Accountability is number 4 of our 4 components, but it's probably the most important. We know that we need to be held accountable. We need to hold ourselves accountable, and we need to hold you accountable in order to be successful. And we love what we do. I mean, I know that the one story I always like to tell is I was lucky enough as a young man to make a decision in my early 20s that I was never going to do anything that I wasn't passionate about. I was going to figure out my passion, and then I was going to learn how to make money at it. Coming on board with Get in Shape for Women, my first conversation I had with Brian Cook, our CEO, we were sitting down in his office, we were talking, he told me that one of the things he's most excited about is that he realized that parenting has become a lot easier for him. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Why is that? He's like, well, I know that all I need to do is teach my kids to figure out what their passion is and then find out how to make a career out of that. And that's my goal, is to help them suss out their passion and figure out how to make a career. And at that moment right there, I knew that we were on the same page and we were going to be, phenomenal. It's going to be a phenomenal work relationship from there on out. And we all do. None of us go to work every day. We all love what we do, and it really is important. And as you heard Maria in the beginning today, she just loves every day of being in her studio, and she loves what she does. So that's our last part of the vision is our current mission. Our current mission is to open 500 locations by 2024 by developing the best fitness franchise model in the world. Now, that sounds like, and we're just about 100 locations now, and that sounds like an ambitious model, I'm sure, to some of you. 10 years of 500 locations. We have the groundwork laid out. We have put together the plan to move forward, and we know that with a combination of corporate studios supporting franchisees, we know how to make this and how to get this taken care of and move into this great opportunity of not only getting to that mission but succeeding that mission for years to come. So let's move on to Maria. So yeah, that's our vision, guys. That's a lot. And I know some of you have been on other webinars, have heard that exact same thing, but I think it's really great to review that again. And I like to just I always like to just go through that stuff so people who haven't done it know exactly who we are and what to expect from us. So Maria Spielkowski, why don't you tell us about where you are and where your studios are?
Yes. First, let me just say again that I am a proud owner of 2 studios, Braintree and Franklin. I first opened Braintree 3 years ago. I started from the ground up. I currently have over 155 clients, and we really are rocking it every day. We are witnessing some serious transformation. I can't tell you, I can't begin to tell you what that's like. And I think it is safe to say that we have an excellent reputation in town for getting results. Again, it, it, it's it's the reason for my success. I took over Franklin about a year and a half ago. That was in existence, and my team and I grew it to full capacity today of 155 clients.
Wow, that's great. Now, Maria,
Sure
you
is.
have a really fun story. I always loved your how did you come to get in shape for women story. So
Okay.
I'd love if you would talk about
Okay.
how you came to get in shape for women.
So about 4 years ago, let me just say, but I worked for over 18 years in the public sector running a small financial assistance program for veterans. Started young and worked my way up. Unfortunately, in 2011, during the peak of recession, I was laid off, and because it was such a tough time, I really couldn't find work. So what I was looking for is a job that I knew well in human resource, financial. So, sent out a lot of resumes, had some interviews, but nothing panned out. And it was funny because at some point I started actually toying with the idea of owning a small business, but then I would promptly remind myself that I knew nothing about running any type of business. So I would, again, switch back to, okay, job search. So one Sunday I'm coming home, minding my business, and let me just say it was a very devastating time. I was going through some depression. It's scary. I had a daughter in college and couldn't work. So I happened to be walking down my street and looked over at my neighbor and noticed this get in shape car in her driveway. Because I have all this time on my hand, I decided to talk to her about it. And what I said to her is, "What's with the ugly car? Sorry, Dan, but it's just not my type of car. It had this, Get in Shape for Women logo, the purple polka dots and everything." And so I sort of made fun of it. And so she started to tell me more about it. She had just opened hers 4 months prior and was so excited. She was just so enthusiastic about it that she actually got me excited. I remember I'll never forget this. I just became, at that moment, alive. So I wanted to hear more and more about it. So after talking with her, I went home. She gave me the website. I literally ran home, got on the website. I started to read up more and more about it. And I just remember thinking, my God, I don't think there's any program out there. This is it's exactly what we've been missing. What a brilliant idea and concept. I want in. I just wanted in. So I remember shooting the founder and mastermind, Brian Cook, an email asking more about it. He actually got in touch with me the following day. We talked a bit. I remember getting more and more excited about it, and he suggested I go to a Discovery Day, which I did. 4 months later, I opened my first studio in Braintree, and have been really happy ever since.
So you came to Discovery Day in 2011. Talk about your Discovery Day experience.
Yes, absolutely. So, even though I was excited, part of me is saying, what do I know about owning a business? And I had a husband who thought I was going out of my mind. He just was not really happy about it, especially given, the recession and so forth. It really made him nervous. And so when I went to Discovery Day, I recall it was I think it was in June. I had talked to Brian end of May, and in June I went to Discovery Day, brought my husband along, and I think there were maybe 25, 30 people there. For me, I was sold. I really was. It really gave me a clear overview of what this business is all about, from nuts to bolts. I met the corporate staff, and I thought they were so supportive. The good thing that stuck out in my mind was that I didn't feel pressure to purchase the studio, and I felt like they wanted to make sure I felt right about it, that this was right for me. It just Discovery Day really helped me make the decision to own my studio, and like I said, it answered all my questions, and it felt right. I just couldn't wait to get started, and so the next day I actually called Brian Cook and told him I was ready and that I wanted to. Braintree was my preference. And like I said, 4 months later, I was able to open the studio. I can't say enough. I definitely urge you. If you're on this call, you're clearly considering whether you're wishy-washy about it or you think, you know what, I think this is something I want to do. Do yourself a favor and go to Discovery Day. Absolutely do it because you will see from beginning to end what this involves. And I do feel I've gotten a lot of support from corporate because without it, I don't think I would have done as well. And I also met with a lot of other potential owners who I spoke with, and once you do own this business, it is a community where everybody comes together to help you, to especially get you started. And it was very important to me.
Well, I mean, I know we've talked about your experience at Discovery Day, and I know that it was, you've spoken multiple times to us about, how great Discovery Day was for you. What did Steve get out of it? Your husband?
Oh, he was still scared.
He was.
Oh yeah, he was. You have to understand. He's worried that because I'm the one who's going to be running this, and he just didn't feel the confidence because he felt, well, what do you know about owning a business? And in this recession, you're not thinking clearly. So he came. So I have to give him credit for that. He did come. So do you know when he turned around his mind? It was the day we opened. We had the grand opening, and he said right after, he said, I have never seen you this happy. You are in your element. I will support you from here on, and we're going to do great.
Great.
Yeah.
It must have felt a lot. It must have taken some of his, the burden off his mind, knowing that being in a franchise, you're going to have the support and stuff like that, as opposed to going out there and building it on your own.
No question, he did. He did feel a little bit better about it.
Yeah.
Than before, because he felt like that there was that support, that element of support. He did feel better about it. But again, my husband is not. He's careful about things. Where me, I'm a positive person. I feel like if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to succeed. And I love this positive focus that we've all been doing, and I do it with my staff. I actually even talk to my clients about it because that's who I am. And so I knew I was going to be successful, and I knew I was going to prove it to him. But he did, he said it after. He says, you made the right decision, and he's felt that way ever since.
Nice. So tell us about, you have some great studios. In your Braintree studio, where do you want to talk about your where you ranked last year in your Braintree studio?
I'm still shocked about that. I think you guys made a mistake in calculation, honest to God. So Braintree came in second place last year.
Nationally,
so that was exciting. I proudly display my little award here. Braintree is my love because it was my first studio. We have created here an atmosphere that, first of all, it's infectious. It's high energy. It's happy. People love it here. I got a letter about a month ago. What happened was I donated a gift card, a free 1 month free membership to a school. They were doing some sort of charity event. And they called me, and I said, you know what, I'll give a free month. Why not? I'll give back to the community. So I got a letter back, one thanking me from the school official saying thank you. And she said, I have never seen anything like it. There was this mad dash for that one basket with your card on it. Nobody cared about anything, and people were trampling each other, pushing each other. She just went on with this, going on and on with this letter. And that for me said, wow, we did it. Because I set out to be the #1 fitness studio in Braintree. No question about it. And I knew how I was going to do it. For one, I believe in the model. I believed wholeheartedly, and I followed it exactly. And we're there. We're absolutely there. It's a community that doesn't have a whole lot of money. But it doesn't matter, because if you get transformation, you have that passion, that high energy, and that happy atmosphere. We do treat our clients like family. No question. There are weekends I'm making calls. I'm not saying I'm on the phone all the time, but once in a while I'll reach out to someone saying, I understand you're having a hard time. What can we do to help? It's those little things that made a huge difference. And, and so we are the talk of town. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. The word has gotten out that you want to get results, that's the place to go. You will hear that they'll say often, it's expensive, but damn it, it's worth it.
Well, that's awesome. That's exactly what you want to hear. And I think a big part of that comes in your staff, too. Talk about your staff a little bit.
Yeah. My success is my staff. I take very little credit. Honest to God, they are fantastic. And I love them to death. I really do. They have passion for this. They really do. They care every day, and the clients know this. I am very picky about choosing my team.
Right.
They have to share the same excitement and enthusiasm I do about fitness. I definitely prefer that they have some years' experience with training prior to working for me. I also look for NASM certified trainers or 4-year degree in exercise science. I'm very picky about that. All my candidates shadow either me or a trainer for at least a month before I actually offer them a job. So I have the right team. And I hear from clients all the time. They said, I have a knack for picking them out because they're fantastic. Nobody ever has any complaints about them at all.
No, how often are you spending some time? Do you have a manager in both studios now?
I have. So the way I work is I have assistant managers in each studio.
Okay.
But they act like full manager, but they're assistant manager. I manage the 2 studios, but I only spend about 15 hours, and this is just recent that I've been able to pull myself back. I struggle with delegation, but I'm working on it, and because they'll often say to me, Maria, you don't need to be here all the time. We got this. But I actually like being here. So what I've done is divide my time. It's 15 hours in Braintree, 15 hours in Franklin. And whenever I need extra, if I have to add extra time, I believe that if my employees are going to do certain things, then I'm going to do the same. I believe I'm a good leader, and that is if I ask you to do this, I'm going to be doing it myself. So if I have to train, I'm a charitable trainer, but I can fool them. If I have to jump in and help out wherever I can, I do. So things have been so much easier now that I can split my time. 15 hours here, 15 hours there. And like I say, if I'm needed extra, then I jump in with both feet.
You feel you're feeling comfortable with your whole staff that if you can just take off.
I am. You know what? Honestly, it's part of my problem because I know they can do it, but I feel like it won't work unless I'm there. So they're telling me we can do this. So finally, about maybe 3 weeks ago, that I pulled myself. And they've done it. They've done it on their own.
That's great.
So that feels really good. It was hard for me, but that really feels good. And they're so proud. They're even more proud of themselves.
So you currently have over 155 clients in each studio.
Yes.
Wow. And how are you? Did you expand your hours at all, or is that?
I did have to expand my hours.
Okay.
No question. Just like half an hour early in the morning, because there is that need for early mornings.
Yep.
And evenings as well.
Okay.
And Saturday a little few hours, but not too bad.
What has been your biggest success for getting clients? What is the thing that's driven your leads the best?
I got it. You know what? No question, hands down, the referrals.
Okay.
I almost want to say 80% they're referrals because it's a tight-knit community. They all know each other. And so they'll see each other and say, "Oh my God, you look fantastic! How'd you do it?" And then they'll say, "Oh, you got to try this place. It's Get in Shape for Women. Amazing, great staff. It's fun. It's happy there. Bottom line, they're serious about getting results. You should try it. You should go in there. They don't push the sales at all. They, in fact, won't accept you if they feel that you're not ready for it. That's very important." And they look at you like, are you serious? Because there's been people I said, you know what, I don't think you're ready, and I don't want you to waste your money. And they're kind of shocked at that. And then oftentimes you'll hear, well, you know what, give me a chance. I think I can prove to you that I'm ready. And I've gotten that. So definitely referrals. For example, I have one client who's actually been here for 3 years that I've opened. She owns a hair salon around the corner. She looks amazing. She's lost 40 pounds. She looks athletic. And so clients will go. She has referred, and I've had to think about this, about 24 clients. Just herself has referred 24 clients here. So what they do is they go in there and they see her and they say, wow, you look great. How'd you do it? They literally take a beeline to my studio and said, oh, just saw Hillary. When do I sign up? You know, so you get that. I've had few doctors who've actually come in. I later find out they're doctors. They're not quick to divulge that, and have said to me that their patients was what sold them. They were amazed at, well, their health is improved, confidence. They've lost the weight. They were so happy. They would ask them, you know, how'd you do this? And so I have quite a few doctors here as a result of seeing their patients. How great is that, huh?
That's a great story. That's a great referral right there with a doctor.
It sure is. One has given me. She sends her customers here. Excuse me, her patients. She's said, no, you're too overweight. You need to go over there. Here's the number.
So with 155 women and all these referrals coming in, that means you're creating some serious transformation. Do you have, like, I mean, I know you have probably hundreds of transformation stories. Tell us that one transformation story that sticks out in your mind. Tell us the one that, you know, that just really blows your mind.
Okay, so her name, I'm going to call her Roxanne. And so Roxanne is looking to lose 100 pounds. Young, pretty woman, but was just shy, wouldn't even look up at us, came in, wanted to try it. So her first day here, she got very sick and threw up. Very embarrassed, walked out, and we thought, okay, that's the end of Roxanne. We felt bad, but, you know. She came in 2 days later, and she said, can I try this again? We said, absolutely. So a year later, Roxanne is 80 pounds less. To see her on the floor and train is just remarkable because she is just, she really is a poster child for this program. You know, I've got so many of those stories, but with her it was just, you know, it was her confidence, it was everything. She just, and to see her walk in and take over pretty much, and she talks up the place. I mean, she talks to people, and she's sort of the cheerleader here when she's here on the floor. She looks remarkable. I'm trying to convince her to do a photo shoot, but she wants to lose another 20 pounds, and then she'll feel comfortable to do that.
So you, I mean, you know how you saved her life. I mean, you know how you've affected her.
Oh, you know, can I just tell you?
Losing 100 pounds is a big, big deal.
Well, just last week, a client said to me, she's lost 60 pounds. She's an older woman, lost 60 pounds. Another one that looks great. And she took me aside and said, you know, we were just talking. She says, you know, Marie, I'm going on my 30-year anniversary here. And I said, oh, you know what, how about we go for coffee or something, celebrate? And she said she loved that. And then she said, do you know this place saved my life? And so I kind of brushed her off. I didn't, you know, I just thought it was a little bit too much. And when I noticed she was crying is when I realized she's being serious. She felt that this place saved her life. What I love about it is I find these women so inspirational to me because they come in, they give it their best. Whatever situation is going on in their life, they make this their priority. And what we have as a result are happy, healthy, confident clients. No doctor, no medications are going to give you that. Sure. You are saving lives, no question. And I'm a living proof. I see it every day here. And that is why I want to be here. I want to be with happy, healthy people who are just so excited about themselves. They feel good about themselves.
So how has that affected you? I mean, how have those transformations like affected just your mindset? You're every day waking up. Like, how does that affect you?
You know, for me, it's everything. You know, honestly, I said, okay, this is going to work, but you don't realize it until you do it and you see for yourself. A client who wouldn't talk to anybody, wouldn't look at herself in the mirror, all of a sudden is proud and you know, feels really good and saying she's dating again, she's happy, and I mean, you know, that's huge. That's absolutely huge. It's much more than I had anticipated. Much more. Yeah. And so it has oh, what's the word? It's enriched my life more than I ever thought possible. It really has. So I get more from it, I think, than they do. You know, when they hit their goal, it's this big celebration. Some of us are crying. We are family. We really are family, and they know we care. Every single trainer in this studio, assistant managers to trainers to myself, they know we care about them and we care about their transformation. I pulled a few aside and said, I'm going to refund your money. You are just not taking this seriously enough. So when you're ready, I want you to come back. And so far, it hasn't backfired. And what I get, and that's what I'm hoping for, is, okay, give me another chance. I promise I'll do better. I said, okay, I'm going to help you, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to, each week I'm going to sit down and do nutrition. I'm going to weigh you myself. We're going to do nutrition, and so forth. So it's and then to see when they do hit that result, it's like the sky's the limit.
You have just, I mean, with all these, it just sounds like you have a really great relationship with the ladies. Talk about the community that's kind of been formed in your studio, your the atmosphere and the community that's been formed, and how you maintain that, like things that you're doing kind of on top of the normal everyday activities that really help to maintain that community and that communal feeling and family-like feeling in your studio.
Yeah. Well, I have to give my trainers credit for that. They do better with that than I do. Like, for example, whatever event that's going on in this town, my trainers get involved. The annual turkey trot, we gather a lot of women. We put out a sort of an email to say, we're going to be, participating in this. You want to join us? That's been a huge event. The Diva Dash. I always do holiday parties as my way to thank them for their business and friendship. If one of my trainer is maybe competing in some body competition or a singer or something, I invite my clients to go. We all go to it. And clients often invite me to an event that's important to them, whether it's a wedding or some sort of competition they're involved in. I make a point to go because I know it's important. So it's these little extra things that really make a big difference.
Right.
It really does. I've had clients who just had to finish because they just couldn't afford it anymore. They cried. They would leave crying. There was, one in particular. I'm kind of switching subject did I answer that?
No, go please talk. Go ahead.
Yeah, Marie did the 279 special that we ran last year, and she was losing weight by the week. She was doing really well, and then towards the last 2 weeks, because I had approached her about adding more time to her membership, and she basically said there was no way she couldn't afford it and so forth. But she was very down, and I noticed each time she came in, she wasn't as talkative like she normally was, and so finally I said to her, what's your problem? Why aren't you're just so blue? What's going on with you? And she said, my membership is coming to an end, and I'm distraught over this. I am really distraught. I said, you know what, Marie, I can't stand looking at you like this. So how about I give you a free month? Don't tell anybody. I'm going to give you a free month, and don't worry about the money. Okay, the money will come right now, but that's not why I'm doing it. I'll give you a free month. Let's get you to hit your goal, and would that make you feel better? And she was shocked that I would do that for her, and she said, okay, I appreciate that. She ended up somehow finding the money. She did another year and then got her daughter in to do a year. So just that one small little thing I did for her has more than paid off. It really has. I don't make a habit of doing that, but it was something told me to help her out a little bit, and
yeah, case by case situation.
What's that?
It's just a case-by-case situation, yeah.
No, it definitely is. I've never done that with anybody. It was just something I felt to do, and she's going to be a lifer. I'm telling you right now, because she's somehow, I don't know what happened. She found the money and then got her daughter to do a year. And so there's like $6,000 right there. Or if I didn't do that, she could have left and said, they didn't quite care about me. Somehow it stuck with her that, boy, she really wants to help me.
And you do. I mean, we can tell.
And we do. Oh, we do. All of us.
Yeah.
My team, it's very important. We have weekly meetings and monthly meetings. And so I always set the clear expectations, what's expected of them. And so we talk about our clients, who's doing well, who needs more attention. We talk about what more we can do to make the place even better. And it's not my meeting; it's all of our meeting. We all sort of brainstorm and talk about it. And I kind of serve as the cheerleader to get them always excited. And when you mention about leave the ego at the door, they all know that whatever is going on in their lives, they leave it at the door. The minute they walk in, they put on a fresh face and they give the best workouts with that high energy and happy, and that is something I've always made clear. Do not discuss any personal things. It's they have their own problems. When they come here, it's always going to be a happy place where they know we care about them. Period. But these meetings and ongoing dialogue with my trainers has proven to be really beneficial because they do make your business. No question about it. They do.
Well, Marie, I can't thank. I mean, first off, it's always just nice just talking with you, but I can't thank you enough for spending some time today. I want to give everybody the opportunity to ask you some questions. Who's on the call? So I really want to give them the opportunity. I could talk to you all day, but I don't want to steal
and
their
I love
time.
talking to you, Dan.
Ah, shucks. So I just wanted to kind of, just a couple of housekeeping things for everybody on the call. Give me a call, guys. Set up your initial phone call with me. This is my information, and I'll put this up at the end as well. That's the next step. The next step is really coming to Discovery Day and having an initial phone call with me, coming to Discovery Day. Discovery Day is actually this Friday, December 19th. We typically would do it next week, but with the holiday, we don't want to, we're doing it a little bit earlier. But it's Friday, December 19th. It's from 10 to 3 at our corporate office in Eden, Mass. You've heard the experience that that Maria had during Discovery Day, and I think it would be a really great opportunity. And I see a couple people on this call already coming, so we don't have much space left. So we really want to make sure that we can get you in. So give me a call, get set up for Discovery Day, and I really, again, Maria, I can't thank you enough. Guys, we're going to open up the floor. I'm going to hang up the phone. Please email your questions into Maria, and or send your questions to Maria via the chat, and she'll answer them all. Guys,
thank you, Dan. My pleasure.
My pleasure. Take care.
No, you too. If anyone's still out there, I'm waiting for questions. If you want to call me and you have any questions at all, I'll give you my number. Feel free to call me anytime. My cell number is 339-235-4576. That's 339-235-4576. Okay, so I guess no one has any questions for me? Okay, so if you do want to have a follow-up talk, feel free to call me again. And thank you for listening.